Greetings, welcome class of UA26 family members. We are excited to have you here for this bonus What to Expect and How to Prepare for Orientation webinar. I'm joined today by Stephen Thomas, our Associate Director of Parent and Family Orientation and Special Programs. I would love to have him on our team, but he is not. Welcome, Stephen. Thank you for being here. We've got great information about stuff that you need to do and know before you come to orientation this summer. So a little bit of an overview of how we will present this information. We'll start and focus on new student Bama Bound orientation, talking about pre-orientation prep, what your student needs to bring, and just some advising and general expectations so that you can help manage both your students' expectations as well as your own. And know what to anticipate. And then we'll talk specifically about parent and family orientation, what, when, who, where, whys of parent and family orientation, how you would register to attend, how much it costs, what topics are covered. I'll go over the schedules so you know what to expect and then what else you need to know. So that is our general overview, and I'm going to hand it off to Stephen so he can talk you through Bama Bound.
Well, hello, everybody. Once again, as Kim said, my name is Stephen Thomas, and I am the Associate Director of the Office of Orientation Special Programs. So today we're going to talk about Bama Bound and what you can do to help your student prepare. So some things about orientation. The first thing would be, first and foremost, that your student needs to start checking their Crimson email account on a pretty regular basis. That's going to be where they will get information about getting involved in the fall. For Bama Bound, that's where they may get emails from their advisor. So it is very important that they go ahead and start checking that out because every department outside of admissions and orientation, that is the only way that they really can communicate to those students is through their Crimson email account. And then once they get here in August, they really need to start checking it on a regular basis, every day, multiple times a day. I've known students who have class got canceled and they didn't check their Crimson email account. So they walked all the way to class and then found out, and then they had to walk all the way back. So make sure that they start checking that Crimson email account on the regular. Something else that would be very beneficial for them too is for them to check out the orientation portal when they receive or will receive their confirmation email. There is a button in the email that says for asking them to log into their orientation portal. It is the same password and username as they used for their admissions portal. So when they apply to the university, they just need to use that same email address and password. The other thing that they would really need to do is also submit their action card photo. They can do that a lot of different ways. They can use their senior portrait. They can do a selfie. There's a lot of different ways. If you go to actioncard.ua.edu, that will be available, some good instructions on how to get that done. Since all their meals will be on their action card for Bama Bound, they need to be able to get that uploaded before they get here. If they are still confused, they still don't know how to do it, they still got questions, there will be representatives in the morning around check-in that will be able to help those students figure that out. The other big thing is memorizing their campus-wide identification number, or CWID. That is about an 8-digit number that starts with a 1-1 or a 1-2. And so that number will be their passport to anything and everything University of Alabama. There may be 5 or 6 John Smiths, and when we want to talk to them about their personal account, knowing that CWID is very important. So that can be found in their DegreeWorks. If they go to their My Bama, in the top part of the screen, they'll see a search bar. They can search for DegreeWorks, click the DegreeWorks link, and then that will get them to their DegreeWorks, where in the top left corner, it will show them their CWID. The other thing that they could be doing even now is if they have picked a major, they are secure in that major, they can go and start looking at the academic calendar catalog on what classes that they could be taking, and just start thinking about that. Start thinking about what courses they may want to take, having a better understanding of what they may be doing while they're getting advised during Bama Bound. Any pre-advising, anything like that are happening in the colleges, they will not really talk to them until they get to Bama Bound. So please make sure that they if they do have questions, to write them down and to bring them to their advising appointment during Bama Bound. The other thing is, if they thought they wanted to be a certain major in July when they applied, but they've changed their mind, to definitely get into the system. That's part of the orientation portal, or they can go into their MyBama and change their major at that their application major. If they don't know what their major is, they still don't really know what they want to major in. That's completely fine. We have a wonderful center here in campus that will help them kind of guide themselves through that first year of schoolwork and help them kind of learn what they may want to do as a major, so that they can go off and do something that they love later on after they graduate. The other thing that is important, but is not due before Bama Bound, but it is helpful, is to submit your immunization forms. If students can go to through their MyBama, if they go to the student tab, somewhere on that page, it's changed a little bit recently. There is a box that's got some elephants with a stethoscope on it. Click on that, or go to the and that'll get you to the form, or they can go to the student medical center website and download those forms from there. Get that taken care of ahead of time. They really definitely need to get that done before they move into Alabama, because that's going to be really important. They will be able to register at Bama Bound, but they just may not be able to register for their spring classes if they don't get that immunization taken care of and submitted. If you don't have a physician at home waiting until they get here in August, they can go over to the Student Healthcare Center and get that taken care of there. And then the last thing that they should really think about doing as well is the math-informed language assessment. If your student went test optional when they applied to UA, that will be a requirement of them, especially the math. Specifically, the math assessment will be required, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Also known as Right Now. So it is required for all test optional students. As I said, it can be found in your student's Blackboard. It can only be taken once. There's also really no reason for your student to cram or study a bunch. It's really there just to kind of see where they are right now when it comes to their math, and how easy things may be for them or hard math may be for them. So it can't really hurt them. It can only help them. So if they go to their degree works and they've submitted all their final transcripts and they're seeing that they got into math 112 and they take the math placement and it shows that they should be in math 101, they can still go take classes in math 112. It will only take you higher. It will never take you lower. And the other thing, they should try to get this done no later than 1 week ahead of their orientation session. It can really be pretty much be taken any time after they've been registered, but at least give themselves at least 1 week, because it does take somewhere between 48 to 72 hours for it to show up in their degree work. So about where they have placed what math placement they've gotten into. And if they're doing it the night before, it's just not going to be there, and it may affect their registration.
Stephen, if students are waiting for an AP math test score or something like that, but they're going to attend Bama Bound before that, should they go ahead and take the math placement assessment, or should they wait for the AP test scores to post?
Like I said, it doesn't hurt them to take the math placement assessment. It may help them in the long run. The other thing is what they could do is go through the card catalog, or the not card catalog, the academic catalog, and check to see, if they got a 4 on their math as an unofficial test score. That could show them, going to the academic catalog could show them what math they got placed into. We don't generally get those test scores until around July 9th. This year, the 9th is a Sunday, so we definitely probably won't get them into our hands until the 10th. And students won't know about where they've placed until roughly July 11th or 12th, because it takes a minute for that all to upload into the degree work. So with that being said, bring any of those unofficial test scores, unofficial documents that you may have. Some of our advisors are really awesome, and they will try to get them into the upper level course. But just know that, if they do get to that upper level course, and that if for some reason, they had a 4, which got them into this class, but then the official test scores come in and show that they got a 3, they may be removed from that upper level course, and they'll have to go back and add the lower level course.
Great. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. All right. So packing list. So we encourage you to bring the Bama Bound parking code and directions to campus, especially this summer, especially for the directions to campus and trying to get through campus. We will be sending out a very specific link to families about, I believe, 7 to 14 days prior to their orientation, that is going to give you directions to where you need to park, all that information. But it's also going to have, since we're going to have a lot of road construction on campus this summer, knowing which way to get around campus with all the road construction is going to be very important. So make sure to utilize the map that is in at least the orientation email. I believe for parent and family programming, they're going to be sending out the same link. Doing a Google search, or whatever other, may not be as beneficial as it would be by utilizing this mapping system the university has.
Yeah. Can I just clarify?
Yeah.
I think what will be clear to clarify, students will receive their Bama Bound parking code and directions to campus in an email from Orientation and Special Programs 7 to 14 business days, or 7 to 14 days before their orientation session. Parents and family members will receive, who are registered for parent and family orientation, will receive an email with the exact same information, just from a different office, 7 days out. We send our email 1 week prior to your orientation session, which should be on the same dates as your student, but our processes are just a little bit different.
Yeah. Thank you, Kim, for explaining that a little bit more. Something else that you may want to throw in is an umbrella and a raincoat. It does like to rain in Alabama during the summertime. Even if it is a 15-minute rain in the afternoon, it still gets quite wet down here. So please be prepared for all things. Reusable water bottle. There's drinking fountains everywhere, but bringing a reusable water bottle is really important, especially as it does get hot, and if it rains in the afternoon, it may get steamy and you may sweat and not realize it. So bringing some kind of something to hydrate yourself is very important. And your student. The other big thing is a laptop. It's amazing how many students or families don't bring some kind of technology with them to orientation. Well, now it really does help as you are looking up classes after advising, or if you're trying to figure something out. But then a lot of our colleges are actually moving to utilizing laptops for course registration. I would definitely try to stay away from utilizing like an iPad or a tablet of some sort or your phone, just because some of the registration process may require you to have your student to have a lot of different tabs open at the same time. And so making sure that they bring a laptop is the much better choice. We will have laptops available for to borrow at Bama Bound. If you just can't bring it with you, or you're waiting to hear exactly what would be the best technology for your major, but also know with COVID and distribution issues that they're having, some laptops may be running out sooner than later. So if you are thinking about purchasing some technology, doing that April, May timeframe would be the better bet than waiting until July or August.
Stephen, can I ask a quick clarifying question again?
Yeah.
For technology, will students need their laptops on both day 1 and day 2 if they are attending 2 days, or will they just need it on day 2 and can just use it in the evening day 1? What does that look like?
It is better to have it for day 2. Granted, it would probably be good for them to have it for both days, but really they will definitely need it for day 2, because some of the colleges will be utilizing that for course registration, like I said, and just being able to look up classes and things like that on their leisure is also something important as well. So
I will also put in the caveat that if your student is going to stay on campus the night between day 1 and day 2, that means you will likely not see them before they start orientation on day 2. And so you'll want to make sure that they have that technology with them before they go to their residence hall the night of day 1, so that they have it ready to go first thing in the morning, day 2, and you don't have to worry about that handoff, because there's not really, with construction and with just general campus congestion, it's going to be very difficult for you to get your car and yourself and the technology to your student on that morning of day 2.
All right. So some other things to bring for your student and for yourselves probably would be a coat and like a sweatshirt of some sort. We know how to use the AC units down here in the South during the summertime, and buildings can get very, very cold. It can go from 100 degrees outside to 62 degrees inside, and it just gets real cold. Some kind of photo identification is always important to have as well. Any special, like I discussed earlier, any special admission documents or unofficial transcripts or test scores or anything like that is going to be really important for you to bring with you as well. That may be another one of those things that you need to hand off to your student when they leave you in the morning time of day 1, so that they have that in case you may not be able to see them until our college visit 1, when advising happens. And some of our colleges definitely split those parents up from their students. So just be aware of that. And then the other thing, I know in years past we've offered linens for a pretty discounted rate. Once again, COVID and distribution and getting things around the world, linens are not something we're going to be able to provide this year through housing. That bring those. I know that it may be inconvenience for a lot of families who are coming in from a long distance, but definitely bring those along with you. Or if you are renting a car or something, we got Targets and Walmarts around here as well. So those are always something that you can definitely go purchase as well.
I think that sometimes we hear from families that students underestimate what a blank residence hall room looks like. And just what linens to bring. So I always recommend a set of sheets. All of the rooms have extra long twin beds, so making sure that the sheets are going to fit. This can be a sheet set that they're going to use in the fall. A blanket of some sort, because again, air conditioning in our residence halls is just as kicking as they are in all of our academic buildings. a pillow of some sort so that they have something to sleep on, towels, both shower towel, a hand towel, so they have something to use when they wash their hands, as well as potentially some soap, shampoo, conditioner. It is not a hotel, so none of those amenities are included. And so you'll want to make sure that you take all of that into consideration. My biggest recommendation is to include one extra shower towel so that they have something to stand on when they hop out of the shower, because there's no rugs or anything like that. So those are my 2 cents of recommendations when it comes to linens, and an extra or just remembering their phone charger cord. That is, and the charger itself. That is critical when they are packing.
All right. So the advising expectation. So a lot of our students, you will be meeting with an advisor on day 1 and then going through course registration of day 2. So some of our colleges may be reaching out to your students ahead of time before Bama Bound. Some of them may be even suggesting some courses that your students could take prior to their time at Bama Bound. They really do want to make sure that those students understand what those courses are. So make sure to take a look at, once again, that academic catalog to see what's going, what the description is for those courses that they're advising your students to take. Also understand that these some of the colleges are very large, have a very large number of students who are going to be participating in their advising process. And so some of our students may not get that one-on-one interaction. A lot of our colleges are trying really, really hard to be more one-on-one, but there is still group advising that takes place. So your students will probably be sitting there with anywhere between 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus students sometimes when they're doing a group advising session. So just kind of preparing them during that ahead of time for that as well. Something else that we need to kind of make sure that students understand is that 8 a.m. classes still exist. And they should understand that they're probably going to have to take at least 1 or 2 of those courses in the fall, and they're going to have to take classes on Friday most likely. I know that just taking classes on a Friday stinks, but it's something we all have to do. As I like to say, they will get the classes they need, maybe not at the times that they want. So they have to manage that expectation. And that students can only register for courses at Bama Bound. That they can't do it ahead of time. They can't do it. They can definitely change their courses after the fact, but they can't do it ahead of time. So they will have to attend Bama Bound to get their orientation hold lifted, and for their advisor to make sure that they are taking the right courses and that they can go ahead and register as well. And then lastly, but not leastly, I just want some general expectations for your students as you're talking to them about Bama Bound, and just a general understanding of what the University of Alabama and the state of Alabama is like. So 1, it will be hot. It's the summertime in the South, it will be a hot time, anywhere between 80 to 100 plus degrees outside. With anywhere between 50 to 75% humidity. Some days you walk outside and you're just like, well, I got to take another shower now after about 2 minutes of being outside. So just understand that it will be hot. There is a lot of walking that will be taking place during Bama Bound, not only mainly for the students, but parents will have to do some walking as well. We don't really have the convenience, especially with all the construction going on, of busing folks a lot of places. So just be prepared for that. Wearing comfortable shoes is a very good thing to do. And so just be prepared for that. Once again, it rains a lot, especially in July. You just won't see those random 3 PM rainstorms. It could potentially rain for an entire week. It has done that before, and it will probably do it again. So making sure that you understand, to bring an umbrella, a raincoat, galoshes, whatever that's going to keep you safe. We will try our hardest to get some kind of busing during those days. But for the most part, if the weatherman says one thing and the weather decides to do another thing, we can't really throw people on a bus at the last second all the time. Like I've talked about before, Southern AC in buildings is no joke. It really does get very cold in the buildings. It's not to like. We've had multiple people say that it's so that the soup store can get more people to buy their Bama gear, but really it's just people like to keep it cool in each one of these buildings. There's a lot of joke videos out there about it. So the other thing is, as you're talking to your students about coming to Bama and coming to Bama Bound and everything, like remind them that this is their first day of college. Encourage them that, they don't want to be the person that comes to school already with a student conduct referral because of their orientation. And they just need to really kind of make good choices while they're here. That it's one day, they'll be back in August and they will go and have a good time then. But at Bama Bound, like the next morning, they've got to wake up and get to advising, get to all those things. And so making sure that they understand that, to make a good choice just that one night. Also encourage them to trust their advisor. Their advisors, this is their job. They do this kind of stuff all the time. They work with these students all the time. And that, speaking with one, it's not an awkward experience. They, like I said, they work with students constantly. That's their number one job, is to work with not students that are, incoming new students all the way up to graduating seniors. And so making sure that they also really fight for what they're needing. If they've got questions, sitting back and waiting for an advisor to ask to come to them may not always be the case. And so really standing up and asking questions that they need. I'm not saying be aggressive, but really go up there and ask those questions that they need. The other one is for them not to be afraid, just to kind of take that cool hat off, experience Bama Bound as they can, get to know the people that are around them, have a good time. Everybody is scared walking into those sessions. And so as long as everybody kind of feels like they're all kind of scared, well, then everybody will be in the same boat and they'll all have a good time with each other and just get to know those around them and strike up conversations with people. And then also come in with a good attitude and make the most of the whole event. It's a good day and a half experience. It's a quick day and a half experience. It's a tiring day and a half of experience, but it will, it'll be a really good one, especially if they keep a good attitude and they make the most of it. And lastly, just be prepared to say Roll Tide every time you walk into a room or anything. We say it as a hello, a goodbye, and a bless your heart. So just know that you will hear Roll Tide quite often.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Stephen.
You're welcome.
We appreciate those insights into how families can best prepare their students to attend orientation. I just want to reiterate, having the conversation now about making good choices while they're here for orientation is key. We absolutely want them to go to their first class before they have their first conduct hearing. And so making good choices during that orientation experience is the first step in ensuring that that happens. We're going to now shift focus a little bit to what to expect and how to prepare for parent and family orientation so you as well know what to expect. The first is that, what is parent and family orientation? It is an orientation program specifically for parents and family members. That is because we know that parents and family members have far different questions about the UA experience than what students have. Students are very much focused on who they're going to get to meet and what classes they're going to take. While families are interested in that as well, they also have a little bit longer range sets of questions. You want to know about financial information, about the entire curriculum instead of just fall classes. You want to know kind of bigger picture details about your students' experience and how to support your students. So we want to make sure that you get all of that information. The parent and family orientation program does run concurrently with the Bama Bound experience. And so it will start at the same time on day one. It does end a little bit differently. Students have programming all the way until 11 p.m., whereas parents and family members, your programming ends with dinner at 6:30. And then I'm so sorry, I have a bug that's flying around my face today. And then on day 2, programming for students will start at 8:30 a.m. and for parents and family members, it will start at 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. And then end roughly in the same time frame. So for dates and schedule information, you can find that on our website at parents.ua.edu on the orientation tab under dates and schedule. And we welcome anyone that will be supporting an incoming UA student. And so that means if that is an aunt, uncle, grandparent, family friend, whomever that might be, we do welcome anyone. It does not have to be specifically a parent. Day 1, or any one-day sessions will be in the University of Alabama Student Center. Day 2, in 99% of cases, will be in Moody Music Building for parent and family orientation. Students will get a separate schedule with their locations, but just so you know, that is how that breaks down. Because of that, those difference in locations, and because of so much construction, we will provide you again with that email set of directions and where to park and all of that a week prior to your orientation. We are also going to remind you of the directions to get to day 2 in an email the night between day 1 and day 2. So we ask that you please follow those instructions instead of your GPS, or instead of meeting up with your student on the morning of day 2 to have breakfast or anything like that. We need you to follow our instructions and go straight to Moody Music Building or wherever your day 2 is located, and following those instructions. Why attend parent and family orientation? It's because it gives you the information you want to know. It helps reassure you of your student's choice to come to UA. It helps you feel prepared to bring your student back in the term that they're starting in. It also gives you a chance to visit with your student's academic college and school. It gives you a little bit of insight into what they're going to experience and the environment they're going to live in, so that when they reference different things throughout the fall and spring, you know what they're talking about. And it allows you to connect with other UA family members, as well as our current students, to get insight into what their experience has been like, and perhaps give you ideas of what you can encourage your student to get involved in, or how to connect as they go through their own capstone experience. How do you register? You can register in one of 2 ways. Either your student can register you when they register for Bama Bound through their My Bama account. When they do that, they would set up a username and password for you. It uses your email address as the username, and then the password is a PIN that you can go ahead and then later go through our website to register yourself. Or, I'm sorry, those are both ways in one description. So your student can either go ahead and register you all the way when they register for Bama Bound, or they can set up an email address as your username and a PIN so that you can go back in later through our website to register yourself. I merged both of those instructions. What does it cost to attend orientation, parent and family orientation, and what does that cover? Our fee is $80 per family member to attend. If you have a younger sibling, your student has a sibling who would be coming with you, number 1, if the sibling is a rising freshman in high school through a rising senior in high school, they are welcome to attend sibling orientation. And in one moment, I'll ask Stephen to describe sibling orientation real quick. But if your student is not eligible, or your sibling is not eligible to attend sibling orientation, they can attend with you. If you'll just give our office a call and let us know, we can guide you through that process. You don't have to register them. You just need to let us know. But $80. Stephen, would you mind describing sibling orientation?
Yeah. So sibling orientation at the University of Alabama is mainly, it's kind of like a recruitment event, but also is a good way for them to not have to sit through a lot of fun, and technical conversations that parents are very encouraged to see, and also gives parents an opportunity, guests as well, an opportunity to kind of focus on their student that is coming to the university and not have to worry about their little brother or sister as much. And so we definitely give them, a campus tour. We're trying to get them into Bryant-Denny for a stadium tour now. They get early college conversation. They get a University of Alabama admissions conversation as well. We also try to just connect them with current students as well to kind of give them that opportunity to figure out exactly like what should I be doing now that I'm a freshman or a junior or senior, and is Alabama the place for me as well? And so it's a good day and a half experience.
Great. And if parents or family members wanted to register a younger sibling for sibling orientation, they can do that in the same way. They can have their student go ahead and register the sibling as in the same manner that they registered themselves for Bama Bound in that same registration system. Great. Thank you so much. And that fee for siblings is $25 per sibling for that entire experience. So it is also financially beneficial for them to attend sibling orientation as opposed to coming with you to parent and family orientation. As I mentioned, the fee is $80 per parent and family member to attend. What does that cover? It covers our student staff for trainings, uniforms, their stipends. It covers orientation materials, space rental, our virtual platform license, all of those types of things that mailed to virtual participants. We are not offering virtual sessions, so that is a bit of a typo. A portion of your fee will also support communication and programming provided by our office parent and family programs throughout the duration of your student's tenure at UA. And so we do not require any type of association fee or joining fee or anything like that to participate in and get communication from our office. But some of that fee for parent and family orientation does go to support that. Just a note that parent and family orientation fees are non-refundable. So we do encourage you to, if you aren't quite sure if a parent or family member is going to attend, wait until you know for sure, so that you don't get into a situation where plans change and then you've paid a non-refundable fee. If you do not have a chance to register a parent or family member before attending or before coming to campus, we will have on-site registration for parents and family members, so we can go ahead and register them once they arrive. Families who are in financial need and would like to request an orientation fee waiver for one parent, family, or family member or guest, you can get more information about that at our website, parents.ua.edu. If you go to the orientation tab and the registration page, we're happy to walk you through that. I'm not going to walk you through exactly all of these details, but parent and family orientation is a 2-day session. You can see descriptions, a minute by minute, play by play of what to expect during the 2-day session, and then the 1-day session, depending on what you're attending, on our website. Again, parents.ua.edu. It is on the dates, the orientation tab, and dates and schedules. The schedules are all the way down below all of the dates, so you can check that out. Day 1 does start at 8 a.m. with check-in. There are some meetings specifically for families who will be interacting with veteran and military affairs, with the Honors College, or their students have been accepted into the Crimson Edge program. And so if your student is impacted or participating in any of those 3 programs, you're going to want to make sure that you've checked in before 8:30 a.m. in order to attend those mandatory meetings. Programming, our welcome doesn't start until 9:30, but we'll have the Capstone Connections Information Fair that happens throughout our 2nd floor, where you can interact with lots of different offices and resources on our campus and get to know a little bit about what offices and resources your student might be utilizing in the fall or throughout their time on campus. Day one is also when you go, there's lots of different presentations that you'll experience, but also you will go to your student's college and learn more about the academic program that they will be pursuing. On day two, as I mentioned, you'll go to that day two location. Programming starts at 9 a.m., concludes around 11 a.m. And again, there are multiple different presentations about student wellness, campus safety. That we'll have a panel of current students so that they can you can ask them any question that you might still have at the end of the day and a half, and then we'll set you up with some next steps so that you know what to expect and what you need to complete going forward. If your student is a transfer student or they are going to be starting at the university during summer term one, you will attend a one-day session. Those one-day sessions start at 8 a.m. And then with check-in, and then the programming starts at 9 a.m. and concludes at 5 p.m., no later than 5 p.m. So, and that is just a little bit of a truncated experience, but we still get you as much information as we possibly can squeeze in. I will say that we will also reiterate a lot of additional information, as well as the information that's covered in parent and family orientation, in our communication platform called the UA Crimson Connection. You can create your free profile for the UA Crimson Connection at ua.campusesp.com or through our website. There's a link that says create your profile for the UA Crimson Connection. What that does is it allows you to customize the information that you receive from us, as well as the frequency at which you receive the information. And that is how we will communicate with you throughout your student's duration on campus. Some things that you need to do beyond just creating your free profile for the Crimson Connection: confirm that your student is registered for Bama Bound before making travel arrangements, as space is limited per session. Make sure that you're confirming that it's a one-day session or a two-day session, so that you don't leave too soon or arrive too early. If your student changes their Bama Bound session, any associated registered parent or family members will also be changed to the new session. So there's not a way for you to attend one session and students to attend a different session date. Once you are registered, you're going to receive an immediate confirmation of your registration. In that confirmation, it requests any information regarding accessibility, diet-related, or interpreter accommodation requests. And so if you will need any of those items, we give you directions on how to let us know about that and make those arrangements. You'll also receive, after May 2nd, an additional electronic confirmation packet, or a link to that packet that will contain all of the information that you're going to need in order to both prepare for orientation, as well as to know what to expect when you come to orientation. And then again, as I mentioned earlier, 1 week prior to your session, you'll receive the parking information, as well as a reminder. We have some virtual events that will take place during the summer. We'll have a couple panels where we will have current parents and family members as panelists, so that you can ask them about their experience and learn more from their perspective, as well as some regional meetups that we will host virtually, where you can get to know other incoming UA family members from your geographic region. So that information will all be in that email that happens 1 week prior to your session, as well as much of that is also included in that electronic confirmation packet post May 2nd. What else do you need to do or to know before coming to Tuscaloosa or to campus? If you or your students are having any type of symptoms of illness, we ask that you please reschedule so that we are not passing viruses or anything like that. What to bring, as Stephen mentioned earlier, for your student to bring a refillable water bottle. We also encourage you to do the same. Appropriate dress for walking, hot, cold, rain, all of those things. Comfortable shoes. We post orientation, you can access again all of that information and more in the UA Crimson Connection. You will also be asked to complete the parent and family orientation evaluation, and we ask that you and invite you to attend our other virtual events to meet other incoming UA families. was a lot of information. Should you have any additional questions or we can help you in any way, if you have questions about Bama Bound from the student perspective, you can email them, email orientation@ua.edu, or give them a call or visit their website. And if you have any questions about parent and family orientation, by all means, shoot us an email at parents@ua.edu. Give us a call at 1-800-392-2777 or visit our website at parents.ua.edu. Thank you so much. We are so excited to see you and your student this summer, and we wish you the best day available to you. Thanks so much, and roll tide. Thanks again, Stephen.
Roll Tide, no problem.